drawing board. Do. Test 1, 2. Let's say something so I can see your levels.
I'm still logging in. I see I gotta
I'm gonna
close
try
some
to
stuff here.
See if the camera's focused. Oh, there's a gigantic GarageBand
What?
promo in the way.
Oh my gosh, how awkward.
I actually was not trying to shill it at this exact instant, although if anyone is out there listening, campaign's going pretty good. We are inching closer to the next stretch goal, which unlocks a second plush. So if you want to check out the GarageBand Kickstarter, it's a good time to do
I
it.
can't. I'm suddenly watching a chess speed run over here, Dave, that you left up.
You're watching? Oh, shit. Oh, I forgot to use the super duper private browser mode. Now you know about my chess speedrun watching.
Starting on its own. It's really annoying.
It's because my laptop is...
pause it.
We've been over this. My laptop is a primitive device, only intended for tippity-tappity typing. It was not meant to handle things like YouTube videos, so...
Or gaming.
Or gaming.
Or screensavers.
I've got to upgrade my CPU so I can play some serious chess. Get an insane graphics card for all the chess DLC.
I think it'd be cheaper just to get another cheap laptop. Hold on, I've got to fight with an animal.
Yeah, why are you having like a battle with your dragon right in the middle of stream time? You have to fight with
dragons. Because it's cute. Well, I was fighting with her before stream time. She wanted to go outside, and I told her it was time for cuddles. And now it's definitely time for cuddles.
This is like every dragon's worst nightmare, by the way.
No, the giant wants to cuddle. The giant wants to cuddle you.
They all want to be like Smaug in their mountain on their pile of treasure or a coconut
fiber. Like a nap.
Feared by the village, like untouchable, and then having like some gigantic female be like, "Time for cuddles." That's not what they want.
Yeah, it's time for cuddles.
That's what Bilbo should have whispered to Smaug when he was sneaking around in there. It's time for cuddles. That would have gotten.
I'm bringing the dwarves. Oh god, that's creepy.
There's one dwarf on the team that was not there for gold. He had like a dragon fetish.
It was Thorin. Thorin did it.
Thorin's all about the dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Team Scaly.
Yeah.
Good name though. I haven't read the book in forever, but I still remember the name Thorin Oakenshield.
There were some names that rhyme, like like Doran and Boran, and like Bailey and Gailey or whatever.
Yeah, like. I mean, when you have a huge list of dwarves, you kind of have to name a few of them to just rhyme with each other, or you're not gonna be able to memorize the whole thing. Ballin and Dwallin and Forey and Dory and Chompy and Wompy and that kind of thing.
Memo wants to know where the Game of Verse thing is. It's coming, but Dave's running late. He has to get animation done first.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit late this month. Usually, of course, I get it in before the end of the month. But I've been jamming on our Captain's Log animation, and it's coming out good, but it's also, of course, as animation always does, takes a little longer than you imagine. So I've been down in the animation mines, so our fan art for June is going to be a little late. It's still going to be the art attack for June, so if you're like a backer and you're like, well, what's the art attack for June going to be? It's still going to be the Gameoverse fan art, but you're just not going to, you'll have to use your imagination. You won't know exactly what it'll look like until a little ways into June, when the Captain's Log is done, and it's all cool, and you guys can see all the animation me and Liz have been cooking up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it looks like you're just taking a break right now to do some Ascension art.
Yeah.
And then you're back to the animation.
This is literally a break, because I've been like nose to the grindstone on the animation for a couple weeks now. And it's at the stage where there's a lot of technical stuff to do. I need to do a lot of compositing for these shots. One of the stages of animation, for Captain's Log especially, is compositing.
And when you do that, you really can't talk on stream. You gotta it's like writing. You gotta think about it.
Yeah, some stuff I can work to pretty good. Like obviously color blocking, that's just literally coloring inside the lines. Pretty easy to carry on conversation during that. penciling here, I can talk a little bit during penciling because, you know, the blue line sketches are already done. I already basically know where all the shapes are. But a lot of the technical stuff, it just requires too much concentration to really even like this level. You can kind of tell I'm a little distracted with the drawing. But even this level of distraction is, I would be more distracted if I was trying to do compositing.
Yeah, people don't know this, but when like Dave is streaming here, he's not actually at top mental capacity because he's so distracted making art.
Well, really, I'm
Sorry,
never
honey.
at top mental capacity. But yeah, I have to concentrate a lot more on animation sometimes. So I gotta do something a little more relaxing for the stream, which getting a little bit of drawing in. Love some pencil on paper, just nice,
Okay,
simple.
so is today the last day for voting then for the next month? What are we doing?
I
Are we
believe
harvesting tonight?
we are harvesting probably tonight or tomorrow. But the vote for the next month's stuff for the July fan art, that's going to be going up probably this weekend. So I think we are harvesting ideas from the Discord again. Fluxer has not gotten their app together yet. I was going to say they haven't gotten their act together yet.
We are waiting for Fluxer to actually step up and make an app for the phone, but if they don't, we may not go with Fluxer.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a huge fan of Discord, but if the alternative is not providing an alternative, then, you know, at some level it's like, well, I don't choose the rules of the road. I might not like everything that the government does, but if that's the civilizational infrastructure that we must use, I guess that's what we got to use. But anyways,
Fira says their app is acting up in the wrong way. I didn't know they had an app for the phone, honestly. I thought they didn't.
Fluxer?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't checked in the last 2 weeks, so maybe maybe my dissatisfaction is out of date, and Fluxer is actually on top of things. But anyways, this month, if you want to get a suggestion in for the July fan art and sketch of the month vote, be sure to pop into, I believe it's the Discord we will be harvesting ideas from this weekend and putting a vote up for you guys. So, and again, even though you have not yet seen the fan art for June, it's in the future. I've just been in the animation mines having, frankly, a pretty good time, but it's pretty intense. It has been requiring my full attention.
It's not too late for a few last minute suggestions. We're not going to see it until I think Saturday anyway.
Yeah, I think it's more likely that we're going to be harvesting and putting the poll together tomorrow, because I know tonight, shot 11, I've got all the ingredients now. I just have to composite them. So I'm going to be trying to get that done before we crash tonight. Probably after dinner, but before sleep. Because we do need.
You guys talking about making a cake or something?
No, I'm talking about compositing animation shots together.
You know, he finished and ate
You
his
said
pie
ingredients.
on a day, though. Yeah, well, ingredients like animation.
Yeah, because there's
You know,
like
background,
the Captain
the
Dave
characters,
frames, the Lula
audio.
frames. There's a door that has to open and close, and I was like, I know I've animated this door before. Where did I put my door? I don't want to animate it again for no reason. That's the whole
He
point.
spent so long looking for it, he misplaced
Oh
his
no,
door.
you're reusing animation. This is slop. This is terrible.
Yeah,
It's Dave Slop.
Dave Slop.
He has reused the same steam on coffee mugs over and over and over again.
No one's caught me
No one
yet.
can tell.
They haven't caught the rooster yet. But yeah, a lot of times if there's an animation that needs a little bit of steam rising from a coffee mug, I'll just grab some steam I made rising from a coffee mug, like a couple years ago in a Prelude animated comic, and I just keep using it. And no one knows. I've not yet had someone jump out of the woodwork and be like, "Hey, wait a minute! You used this steam
Saving
animation
time?
before.
You're not allowed to save time. How dare you save time?
You're just recycling the same steam animation we've seen 3 times." I'll go to some other
I do think
webcomic
that
artist.
people out there that will get upset over that
They're probably
somehow.
are. Now, if you, that's the one of the blessings of success is if you get to any level of significant attention, there'll always be someone that can sort of like have fun with little things
The
like
whiners. The wine brigade.
that. Well, I mean, don't take it personally. That's just what happens. just what happens. You get big, and then people start noticing that you use the same Steam animation over and over, and they're like, "Why are you always using?"
And
the
then they
same
call you a
Steam?
hack.
I want a new Steam animation. Why can't you use like a fresh animation of Steam every time, like all those other webcomic artists that animate anything ever? And I'll be like, "Good point."
I think people find, or at least I find, that the people that get really upset over stuff like that, they have like, there's something wrong. Maybe, though, there could be something wrong with them, but there's something that is upsetting them that has nothing to do with your animation, but they're just taking it out on you because for whatever reason they think you reusing coffee mugs is what's causing them pain in life or something like that. Somehow they have like connected those dots.
Well, it's normally people want Dave to draw things their own way, or they want more Dave to just draw porn all the time or something. And they think that if they nag him about something, he'll like listen or like get insecure and change his habits.
Now, to be fair, I do think that there's a place for, like, you know, there is such a thing as authentic complaints and authentic criticism and stuff. I think it's for creators, they get such a mix with so many different potential motives in there that sometimes it's easy to lose track and just be like, oh, everyone is jealous, everyone is a hater, blah, blah. It's like, no, you like, some of them maybe, but you know, some of them might just be really into what you're doing, and they see something where they're like, oh my god, this would be so good if only this part was like not so flawed, and they're trying to bring it to your attention. So that's why you just gotta, as a creator, just, you know, it's fine, just chill. And some of the advice might be good, some of it might be on point, some of it might be an attempt at manipulation. There's overlap in the Venn diagram, so just relax, and if there's something useful, be happy that there's something useful there, and if not, just
Some people
carry on.
Some people might be trying to put their fetish in your story.
Yeah, that's happened before. I think we had at one point someone, it was like way back in the day, someone was like, how much would it cost for you to like have, I don't know, like Whip be swallowed alive by a nightmare with an extreme close-up of the mouth as he is swallowed? How much would it cost to have that in your story? And I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't think that particular story element or any story element is for sale. That's not a service that we provide. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
Can I buy your story and make it my way?
I mean,
I thought you were going to say something like, Dave, why are you so averse to drawing feet? Right? Is it because like you're really bad at drawing feet? Well, you should, you know, if the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So you should just, you know, commit and draw more. Just friendly advice, no other reason.
Yeah, and again, like that's not even always the wrong advice. Sometimes it's good to draw feet and hands and get familiar with them. But yeah, I think a lot of times the amount of emotional intensity can kind of be an indicator if there's like something a little odd going on that's not necessarily just normal. Whoa, man, this really sucks. Could you make this better? You know, if a person is like fuming or furious, if they have like a lot of intense emotion, as though you have like personally done them injury in some way, then usually that's
I've seen some journals. Yeah, there have been some journals about that.
That's usually a clue that there's like something else going on just underneath the subject matter that's being used as the pretext.
Well, yeah, it's we've had critique journals, and I can take them seriously until right in the middle they're like, and who even asked for books, and why don't I have books, and why am I not famous? And then it's like, okay, I think this is kind of like about a personal problem you have, and it doesn't really involve us.
I don't know. Well, it's a rich world, you know. It could be both. There's all kinds of overlap. So, but I guess the moral of the story is, if you are a creator out there, I don't know, just try to relax. If you see critique and stuff like that, some of it might be handy. If it's handy, cool. If it's not handy, you know, just don't take it personally. It's fine.
Yeah, and I have to say, as somebody who frequently likes to criticize things, there's a gravitation pull towards just sort of like letting loose and just raging at whoever's doing the thing. I've raged. Well, sort of rage. I've complained about Metroid Prime 4, for example, on here, which,
Oh
you know,
my
again,
God.
neither of you two have probably any idea what I'm talking about, except for like a couple of clips, but some people in the chat might know.
We have not
There's
read
really
that,
stupid
that
things.
Reddit post.
The what?
We've not read your Reddit post, Gabe.
That's very insulting that you think I go on Reddit.
Sorry.
How dare you? Maybe I should.
I don't know where I
Anyways,
don't know where they go to do this kind of thing. So I don't know where that would be.
I see. I don't have like I don't want to write like a blog post about it. I guess if anything, I'd maybe make a YouTube video. But there's already YouTube videos out there that explain it. Like if you want to know what's going on with Metroid Prime 4, that question has been answered. There's nothing I can really add to that conversation except that not all of it is bad. Like, I'm not saying play it. I'm just saying not all of it is bad. There are some good things. There's actually a couple soundtracks in the game that are like really good. If they had just not made the levels really boring, then they'd been great.
Is that the one where there's talking, like the character is a sidekick?
Yeah.
His millennial writing.
Yeah, which, you know, if you get an argument with one of these people, they'll say, well, Metroid Fusion had talking in it. Metroid 3 had talking, you know, like all this stuff. But no one ever likes that stuff. They just want, they did it a little bit in one of the games, and it was not anyone's favorite. It didn't really drag the entire experience down. But it just wasn't like, it didn't add to the game. They could have omitted it entirely and the game would probably have been better for it. So saying that it's been in something else is not really a defense point because no one liked it, you know? But yes, there is a lot of talking in that game, and yeah, it's pretty bad. I didn't want to get into a rant about Metroid Prime 4 though. My point I want to make is that it's not all bad, and it's very easy to just like act like it's the worst thing ever, and it is pretty bad, but it's not the worst thing ever. You kind of have to evaluate, assess things individually instead of just sum everything up as like, this whole thing is trash and I hate you and all of you people are bad. You know, the other thing about that too is the people that like Retro Studios is the It is Retro Studios. Retro Studios is the studio that made that game, with Nintendo like owning the property and everything. And I had heard some rumblings that Nintendo may have exerted some creative influence over it, specifically with the inclusion of these NPC characters and the inclusion like some kind of open world type giant empty desert for some reason. So they may not have wanted to do things. They may have understood that they shouldn't have done that. But the game was in development for 8 years. I think they kind of had to make something because they teased it back in, what was it, like 2018 or something like that. And then just 8 years of just fucking nothing. So
I feel like that is also like an underappreciated aspect of development sometimes, is if there's, you know, people that aren't necessarily in a creative role, but they exert creative influence, like a board of directors. It's like, oh no, like we tested, we did focus groups on this. So we definitely, focus groups, people like Snickers bars. You have to have Samus eating Snickers bars throughout this.
Smashing it through her visor, just smearing it all over the place.
Like,
okay, well the difference here is that, like, Gabe, you are a consumer of the game. You are a fan of the game. You like the game. I'm thinking of the journals where people give us critique, but they're actually frustrated comic and story writers. And that's where they just suddenly like blurt out in the middle, why don't I have a book?
Oh, well, I mean, there's
so it'd be like if I was like a failed video game guy and
or you're like why can't I work?
You.
Yeah, or like if you're like, ooh, I want to work for Metroid Prime. I'm so much better. This is why I hate it. Yeah. And then you just start talking about like why they won't, like why they didn't accept your application. So you know there's like a personal vendetta going on there.
Yeah, envy.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Instead of actually concerned about the content.
I think that, yeah, that, especially for people that aspire to have a creative career and maybe they're at a frustrating point, that can definitely be in the mix. So it's something for people to have some self-awareness about, and for authors, it's going to be, but I think it's almost a little bit more dangerous for an author to be like, well, I have seen people jealous of me, therefore I will dismiss all critique as jealousy, or oh, they're all man babies, or whatever it is. It's I guess that's why it's sort of interesting to talk about, because it seems like there's two very good arguments to be made. They're the opposite. One argument is, oh, when you get people coming at you, they're just like brimming with hate and jealousy, because that is a thing that does happen. You have to learn to tune that out and don't let it get to you. It's like, there's a lot of validity to that, but then there's also a lot of validity to like, hey, when you have like people that actually care about your thing being good, and they're trying to like wave a flag and be like, hey, this thing is a big problem in our experience. We want you to understand why we're dissatisfied. We want you to understand where we're coming from when we have a bad experience with this product that we care about. Like, the other side of the coin is, you don't want to be like in the creative field and just be like, well, all of you actually are misogynists if you don't worship what I just gave you. So there, So there's like cases where you should definitely just tune that sort of thing out, and there's cases where it's actually kind of crucial to dial in and understand where people are coming from. And the difficult thing is, on the surface, those two opposite scenarios kind of look identical. So I think that's why it sort of turns into an evergreen conversation topic.
I think it's important to control yourself on the internet when you see that kind of thing, because I mean, maybe in text, maybe they're coming at it with like, they mean well, and they're just trying to like highlight something you may have missed in your story, instead of like the creator just replying with, "I will destroy you."
I think it's a scenario that. What was that?
That's always my favorite go-to response is, "I will destroy you."
The supervillain response.
Followed closely by, like, "Do you know who you're talking to?"
Yeah, "I will destroy you. Give me your address."
Yeah. "I will destroy you. What is your real name and place of employment? Just out of curiosity."
Yeah, I got some stuff to fax your employer. It's easy to get into hyperbolic territory with this stuff, but I think that people just feel like if they're not hyperbolic, then no one's going to hear them. So you may look at something and go, there's huge plot holes in this, and like this doesn't make. I don't think this is really consistent with their character. And instead of saying that, they'll say, you suck at writing, and this is like slop, and this is what's wrong with the industry and all this stuff. And like, if you're a creator and you're reading that, then that might be just what you might just look at that and just assume that like everyone is doing that.
I think there's also another factor that kind of muddies the water sometimes when it comes to getting solid, useful critique as like a creator. And the other factor is, where's this guy? I know I've drawn this guy somewhere. There he is. The other factor is a lot of times critique will be put out online packaged as entertainment, and it's not necessarily, the intended recipient is not necessarily the creator. The intended recipient is just going to be an audience to give the video maker attention or something. And when you're packaging
look how much smarter I am than this, or like build my audience off of your audience.
Or even if there's no weird personal motives, it might just be like a simple, well, I want to get a ton of attention on my video. What gets more attention? A measured, moderate response, or, like, oh, I can't believe this game! Donkey balls! One of those is probably more entertaining, so...
Wait, is the game named Donkey Balls, or are you just reacting Donkey Balls?
The game is named Donkey Balls.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my interpretation.
I thought that too, but then I thought you were, like a very angry video game Dave or something.
That was actually going to be my next online project.
That's your catchphrase, Donkey Balls.
My catchphrase is Donkey Balls. I'm going to be the very angry video game Dave. I want to jump on this trend about 15 years. 15 years after it has completely played itself out. That's when I'm going to step up.
Yeah, it's time. We need a new one. I don't think I've actually watched AVGN, and it's been a while. I think like he played basically every bad game from the 80s to like the 2000s.
And then he made a game,
like-
so there we go.
I'm not even
Well,
trying to like
sort
trash
of.
on AVGN. I really enjoy his videos, but I'm just saying for a creator, if you're wondering like how come people are coming at me so intensely now that I got a little tiny shred of success, that could be one of the things. Is if there's someone that's primarily hamming it up for an audience just for entertainment value, that might be a good thing to recognize. And it's like, don't take it too personally. They're just like yelling for an audience, or maybe they think that that's what will get their video more popular. And sometimes it does, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the other
Uh-oh.
thing too, is like people will associate that kind of behavior with grifters, and I think there is some merit to that. I do think that there are people out there that will just rage about something that's not really a big deal because it gets some views or some attention or whatever. So that's even more chaff to kind of throw in there. Like you sort of need to understand like when people are being labeled as the like rage grifter when they're not. Understand when. Well, I guess that probably actually just sums it up. When they're rage grifting and when they're not, or I suppose doing the opposite. And yeah, if you're a creator, then you have to sort out, which kind of sucks.
I just like the idea of a video, like not video game, but like a streamer named Donkey Balls, and every once in a while his name is Donkey Balls, and he just yells out Donkey Balls as a catchphrase, and he sells shirts that just say Donkey Balls on it. The stupidest thing, but it works,
You gotta Google that though. Make sure there's not already a Donkey Balls out there filling that niche.
I feel like if I Google that, it's gonna take to like some 1998 like Eat Bombs World type website or something like that. Somebody made like just some Flash animation decades ago.
Yeah, everyone
that everyone forgot about.
Google Donkey Balls. Let us know if
No,
there's
don't
anything
Google
out there that is in the same.
I'm just imagining some serious font going on here.
Oh, Chomps, I'm fine. I'm just laughing.
Where
she's
is
coming
she?
over to check on me. She heard me laugh out loud. And... It's okay, Chomps.
Unauthorized joy detected.
Yeah.
I gotta set that up.
Aw, she's fine. I don't know why. She heard me laughing. She looked at me from over in her office hours, and then she had to like run over and check on me to make sure I was okay. That's my headcanon. Yeah, she's hanging out with me. She's just making sure I'm okay. She cares about my emotional well-being. It is a very kind lizard. Sometimes a little straight edge makes a big difference. Oh, was she actually going on a bombing run?
Yeah, I told you.
Here, I thought she cared about me.
No.
She's coming over to say hi. No, she's...
She got trouble over here.
A bombing run.
Yeah, that's what we call it when the Tegu leaves a deposit.
That's exactly what I thought it was gonna mean.
She's actually as polite as she could possibly be about it. She'll go away from her habitat and the places that she frequents and try to put it like in a nice out of the way spot. So it's relatively easy to clean actually.
Kind of the opposite of like what a cat does when they throw up.
Yeah, usually a cat is like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna make myself known. Hooah!
Yeah, like
Uh-oh, did we lose Gabe?
no, I heard her talking on the background, but she's kinda like far away, so I wasn't sure if she was talking to you or what.
Yeah, she's just muttering and keeping the place nice. Thank you, Liz.
Keeping it poop free. Yeah, cats. Every cat that I've ever known, when they need to throw up, they for some reason will retreat to a hard to reach dark place that is covered in carpet.
Yeah, they're like, there we go, somewhere nice and absorbent to hurl my puke.
Yeah, we wouldn't want this to be easy to wipe up or anything.
Chomps, get off the power strip. What are you doing? Yeah, please get off the power strip. Go terrorize something else for a while. You're a lizard. Aren't you supposed to be sluggish? It's where she gets like super exploratory. It's like a little hyperactive velociraptor just tooling around the place. I don't know why. She thinks my corner is just like the coolest area in the whole house. She always has to come back here and rummage around in my shit. Like, Chomps, I'm busy trying to make art. Harshen my vibe, lizard.
I want to know if you're wearing shoes or slippers, Dave.
Me? Actually, I'm barefoot right now. Which means I am regulating my temperature effectively, but I can't show my feet because Twitch would have a conniption, apparently.
You're not on Twitch.
Well, they would hear about it.
Which would? I thought people got away with a lot more on Twitch than that.
I know at some point I heard it said like, oh, you're not allowed to show a barefoot on Twitch by mistake, because at some stage that got like bandiddly and if you're an e-girl like painting your boobs, I guess that's okay. But if you happen to be like barefoot and there's like a corner of your toe that gets spotted, for some reason Twitch was all about shutting that down for a while. Or I had the impression that was the case.
I gotta look into this. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Maybe I'm just remembering it completely wrong, or I had the wrong impression, but I thought it was like, oh, you gotta, if you're, make sure to not show your feet on the camera or Twitch will shut you down.
It's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
If somebody told me, like, if somebody told me that something like that was a rule, I don't know, around the time that Twitch was kind of conceived, I would say that, of course, that has to be a joke, because, like, Twitch is for video games. Why would anyone's feet be on the screen at any time? That doesn't make any sense. But now Twitch is just sort of a platform for just whatever. There's people that go on and they don't even play games.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been us back when we were streaming on Twitch, is we're just going on there and streaming artwork, no video games.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I'm just an old geezer. It's been that way for a while, but when I started using Twitch, it was actually Justin TV. Before and it was Justin TV was sorry, I had like a thing running in the background. Justin TV is basically what Twitch TV is now, but they cut out all the other stuff and made it about gaming. And then I guess they realized that people actually wanted all that other stuff too, so they just put it back. And so they really just name changed and brand changed kind of for nothing.
I know, like, I'm trying to avoid laughing right now, but Chomps has come over and started, as soon as we started talking about feet, ironically, she is twisted up and all over my feet and trying to like crawl up my pant leg. I do not know why. I don't know.
Cold. Give her a blanket.
No, she's not even cold. She got all toasted up in her office hours. She's got her heat lamp and everything.
You like it, don't you?
Yeah, as soon as I sit down to draw, it's time to pester the artist. Maximum speed pestering from the local dinosaur. Well, she could just like chill instead of wiggling around like a little lunatic. It's not like I have like treats hidden in my pant legs, Chomps. What are you doing?
She's flirting with you.
I don't think so. I sure hope not. That would get creepy fast. Alright, yes. Good.
She's activating hard mode.
Well, now she can activate it somewhere else. I think she has figured out that she cannot anti-gravity her way up my pants leg. There's no room in there for a Tegu, so fare thee well. Go terrorize some other part of the house for a while.
She's going to my legs now. Might have been denied.
I like how she's nice and chill all day, and then as soon as we start streaming, there's like a switch that flips, the eyes start glowing red, and it's lizard in time.
I don't know if maybe Liz already addressed this, but I think somebody asked earlier what the creatures were that you were drawing. You have not answered that already.
Oh, I have not. This is I'm just drawing some of the smaller creatures. This is like a little like cricket mouse type of critter.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's got like backwards legs like a cricket or a grasshopper, but it's a little mouse, crawls around. I don't know, they're just cute. Like, we drew Wisp having one as a pet once, and so I was like, well, I want to put it in the lore book. And now there's this sort of bird grasshopper mix, and there's also like an insectoid rabbit kind of creature. Serapeum has some weird fauna that hangs out in there.
That reminds me, I lost internet yesterday for I think it was like 2 or 3 hours, and it got to the point where I was like, well, I can't code right now because unfortunately, the thing I need to test is bound to having an internet connection because the game has to connect to Steam in order to work. It really shouldn't work that way, but it does for reasons, and so I'm like, well, I guess I'll read a book. Oh wait, I have 5 volumes of Dreamkeeper sitting here. I kept saying about how I want to read it. This is a great chance for me to do that. So I got all my shit sorted for the day, and as soon as I was ready to do that, I checked the modem and the internet was back on. So
that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, Dave. They want to know how these creatures interact on the food chain. Are they delicious?
I can say I don't have every.
How does it taste?
I don't have every relationship worked out, but I can say the little mice, they are not apex predators. There's little goobers. They just run around and try to get like seeds and like smaller bugs and whatever they can. Actually, this thing I'm drawing now is higher up on the food chain than them, and it's a plant, so gotta be careful sometimes.
So it says the Dreamkeepers can eat all of them. Is that true? None of them have like poisonous blood or anything.
I mean, I don't know if they can eat.
Well,
all
I mean,
of them.
if it's a role play game, so if your goal is to taste the world,
you could decide to taste every animal. I think if there's any that are explicitly poisonous or inedible, I'll probably make a note of that. But I think the majority of stuff, like some stuff, there's just not enough meat on it to make it worthwhile. But actually, a lot of the sort of like desert big insectoid type of things are very edible. It'd be sort of like a big lobster or a crab running around on the land with a little more meat to it.
Would Nama eat these?
Would Nama eat it? Probably not. I think that she would have some issues with things she's not used to outside the tower. There'd be some adaptation that has to happen.
She's like a little like sheltered rich kid. Is that what's going on?
I think so.
Yeah, she's got like
she's a really big eater anyway.
Very
really
rebellious attitude, but yeah, she like part of her thing is since she had almost no control over anything in her life, she'd be very, very particular about exactly how she wants her snacks served and stuff like this, so she could have control over something. And so going from
so she wouldn't just eat like mice. They're weird.
Yeah, so she's like a wild child. She's kind of crazy, but she's also like hyper sheltered. So if she was out in something like this where there's all this like strange foreign stuff, I think it'd be a little overwhelming at first.
I fought the dragon. The dragon is loose in the library.
You fought the dragon.
Oh no.
The dragon is loose.
You gave it access to knowledge?
Yeah, she climbs it sometimes.
She's particularly a fan of Berserk, as it turns out.
You've read Berserk?
Yeah, I haven't read all of it yet, but I'm getting through it because it's just like gory and gross and like over the top, crazy. Like I don't know, it's just very unapologetically intense, and so I think it's pretty fun to read. I'm getting through it, but it's Chomps' favorite thing to dig at the shelf. She likes to get up there and sleep on the Berserk books.
He's got 10 of them, so they're all lined up, and she just like lays on top of them. She thinks she's hiding.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That'll make them resellable.
Oh, that's okay. I don't get books to resell them. I get books to enjoy them.
And hoard.
It's not hoarding, it's reading.
I have wanted to not watch it. Actually, I've heard that the anime for that is pretty bad, like all of them. But I wanted to read that for a while because people reference it so much, and apparently it's like it's a very unforgiving story. It's I guess just characters just get tortured in that manga.
Yeah, like if you're like, oh, I'm kind of squeamish about like gore or like depictions of characters getting ripped apart or like rape or fucked up things like that. If you're like, I don't want to see those things in manga black and white format, then that would be like a series to avoid. But if you just are sort of like, oh, some really extreme graphic stuff that just like goes bananas and kind of rolls with itself, it might be fun to look at. Then it's
He asks for them from my parents, and they have no idea what they're buying for him.
as soon as I get the full series, I'll force them to read it. I'll do like a Clockwork Orange and be like, now look what you have brought into our world.
I'm gonna do
Okay,
that
Matt.
with a Dragon Ball instead.
Dragon Ball. I've heard that Dragon Ball was like a charming animation. One of these days I want to work to it or something.
Okay, Mamo has made some stuff, but he needs to post it.
Oh yeah, let me see some Mamo stuff. Let me know when the links are up there, and I can show the stream.
He was trying to get Prelude V accurate,
Oh nice.
but it couldn't get V's design. It was Anima. He tried new training data. He wants your opinion on it because he was doing like he thinks it's 60 to 80% accurate. Let's see
Oh,
what we
okay.
got here.
Yeah, see, he just posted the link up. Let me check this out. Where's the thing where I can...
Oh, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. I see some ears are wrong.
Oh, nice. Let me hit the button where I can show this on the screen.
It looks really close.
Wow, there's a lot of these.
Oh, cool.
Your
Yeah.
foot's wrong. But no, the face looks right on.
Yeah, this looks like an accurate face. It's even got the eye patch on one side, and then the other side there's still like a dark eyelid. I guess like some of them it gets like close, but not quite. If it gets like the eye socket a little bit.
It looks like it has some trouble with the feet design though. Like normally Dave's digigrades are a little higher.
My feet designs are usually.
I'm impressed that it did get her hand like the. Oh well, I just looked at one where she's got five digits, but for the most part, yeah, it actually does seem to count them correctly.
Most
It
of them,
normally
they're
messes
getting
up on the
hands,
ears.
Most of them they get it blah. Most of them they are getting the hand at like the right cartoony 3-finger style too, where it's not just 3 fingers. It's like not as goofy as like a Mickey Mouse, toony Warner Brothers hand, but it's also not as normal as like an anime hand and realistically drawn. So a lot of these hands are like the successful sort of Dreamkeeper's hybrid style. Overall, fantastic looking stuff, man. Well, thank you for sharing.
I think the face looks really good in the one on the far right there. It looks like it's trying to get the fishnet outfit.
Yeah, this reminds me, I gotta post up the sketch of the month because we have that drawn up and colored. I just have to, well, not shaded, but it's got some flat colors.
I don't. Oh, you could actually. You could have done that tonight. I forgot.
I could have, but I just wanted to take a break and draw because the animation has got
I
me
know.
so bushed lately.
I know. I'm sorry. You're overworked.
Well, it's also exciting because animation is always like a huge amount of work, but I'm also trying to develop like new production techniques because now that there's all this new technology, it's like, okay, if I never try this stuff out, then I won't know what works and what doesn't. And I haven't really seen anyone else trying to use AI to I see a lot of people pumping out like, oh, I just generated this from AI, and then they'll just like pump out something where it's like, yeah, it looks cool, but it's not really specifically, if you're just like using it as a roulette machine to get some cool looking images out, then it can be really fun and you can get some good results. But I'm more interested in it for animation as like a very precise tool where it's like, hey, I want to animate something, I know exactly how I want it to look. It's also difficult because I don't know if the animation style that I want to use is really widely referenced yet. Because anime stuff, like, I like my Dreamkeeper's animations, and right now it's a tectonic animation, but still kind of a little bit in a similar zone. Like, anime tends to be very pose to pose, very rigid, very detailed. whereas something more like traditional has a lot of anticipation and tension and squash and stretch and bounce and distortion to it that makes it look way more lively. So I kind of want to have a fusion of those characteristics where it had like the Dreamkeeper style. I want it to have kind of like some of the detail and solidity of anime, but with more of the dynamic actual bounce and actual motion of like a lot of the Western animation influences.
I think Chomps is trying to climb your leg because you wouldn't pet her because you were busy drawing.
That might be it. Usually she comes over here and I give her some like back rubs and back pets, so she might have been like actually pestering me for that.
But yeah. Anyway, about the V AI stuff, I think it replicated her face accurately, and I think it's about as successful as I've seen it. Some of those look really, really good.
I think it's close enough that you might have to do like a spot difference type thing with them. Which is impressive, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. It's cool that AI is getting that good with stuff. I think if I was trying to be like, which one is generation and which one did I draw myself? Like if I had like a memory wipe and I was comparing, I'd probably have to rely more on recognizing like the actual pencil texture.
Pencil strokes, yeah.
Yeah, since I tend to actually do all the Dreamkeeper's comic art and roleplay art, I guess, with the pencil stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to see what can I use with AI as a tool for animation to help like my animation actually go faster. And I don't know, it's a really, really mixed bag. I guess all the people that are like, oh, AI, ew, AI slop, blah. Those people seem to have some hidden fear that AI just makes, you just hit a button and you get whatever you want, and there's no work or effort involved at all.
You have gotten some weird shit trying to get exactly what you want.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like, based on my experience, it's like, oh no, this is not some magic tool where you just hit a button and you get a good result. That's not what happens. That's really not what happens. You have to know exactly what you're doing. You have to set all the parameters up, and even when I'm trying to just be like, okay, here's rough animation, here's keyframes, here's some of the frames cleaned up and polished and colored. Can you just polish and color the rest of these frames like the sample frames? Sometimes you can actually get a good string of results, but a lot of times it's just like, time to do this the old-fashioned way. Time to buckle down and just actually manually do it. So I find AI is very well. I mean, it's really good if you don't really care that much about the output. I think a lot of people have made that observation. But if you're looking for something very specific, you have a vision in mind, getting it to like hit that is very difficult, and it takes a lot of experimentation. I've spent I think around $50 on just LLM credits, or I guess technically they convert into tokens, but on my thing they're called credits. Yeah.
And that's like what I really wanted to do is I wanted to just experiment with it and see how it works, and like what can it really do, like what can I trust it with, and when should I just do it myself. It took $50 of just dumping through tons of credits just to figure that out. And I think my analysis of it is that it does more than I think it does more than I thought it could do, but I still can't really trust it with everything.
Yeah.
So you really need to figure out like what it's good at, what it's not, and use it for its strengths, and sort of take over for its weaknesses.
That's why I've been trying to like make myself use it in this Captain's Log 4 animation that I'm doing, because it's like I know the only way I'm gonna know, well, what is it good at and what is it not good at? When is it gonna save me a lot of time, and when is it just gonna be like, it can't do this well? The only way I'll really figure that out is if I make myself mess around with it and find out. I've just had to start using it as a tool if I want to get a sense for how it actually works as a legitimate tool. And I would say,
would you say it's like a 33% success rate with what we do? Because we've had some pipeline development here where I have to go in and clean up frames that are produced by AI manually, and other things where we do a duplicate layer of the animation that I half color, and then we layer it to fix some mistakes that AI did.
Oh yeah, even if there's a sequence where it's like, oh my gosh, like oh, it actually colored this whole sequence exactly the way we wanted it colored. Thank God, that just saved us like, you know, a day of work. But then even when that is the case, there's still going to be like some frames that have to be spot checked and like manually touched up a little bit. You know, I think a lot of times there's even like normal animation, you sort of have to go through and spot check things and like do some correction in post for like artifacting and whatnot. So it's
Oh yeah, if you work with anybody, you have to check it.
yeah, especially if you have a pipeline. If you have like a pipeline and there's contractors and stuff, you have to spot check the quality of the work that you're getting, because otherwise you might get stuff in there that's like, oh, this guy just couldn't draw that well, or this person just didn't understand what the pose was supposed to be. And so anything, you know, even the old ways, there'd have to be quality control and sort of spot checking and all this stuff. But it's just it's difficult trying to learn any new software, and I knew going in that's what was like holding me back, because part of me was like, oh, I just want to do it the way I know how. And I could tell it was like laziness. It's that thing where it's like, ironically, laziness was keeping me away from using AI, because I know how hard it is to learn something completely fucking new, completely brand new. And it's sort of like, oh, can I just do it the old way? I don't want to have to learn something new. I don't want to develop a whole new skill set. I felt that
so
way.
you just wanted to animate the whole thing by hand traditionally, rather than learn a skill set here.
Well, it's sort of
But
like,
that's your version of lazy, is to do it all yourself.
yeah, well, maybe lazy is the wrong term, but like psychologically easy, intellectually lazy. Like to just do what I know how to do, and I'm comfortable with it. I know exactly how it works, and I can just sit down and do that all day long. There's no intellectual or psychological difficulty there. You know, well, I guess aside from like, do you have a work ethic? But assuming you've got like a decent work ethic, you just sit down and you do what you do. Easy. And I love doing that. That's one of the reasons I think that I'm able to find success generating so much artwork. But that said, I know that when there's something that could open up doors and open up like new avenues of production so that I can produce more of my art than I ever possibly thought I could do it before. You know, if there's something that can basically take a $300,000 animation budget and turn it into like a $20 animation budget, I'd be bonkers to not sort of like try to get a handle on like, well, how does this stuff work? So, and that's sort of like, I don't know, it's been an interesting experience too, because sometimes it feels like gambling. It's like, okay, is this prompt going to work? Is this going to do what I want? It's like I could just spend all my time doing it by hand the old-fashioned way, and I know I'll get the result that I want, but I also know it's going to take me, you know, like 72 hours or something. But if I just keep on experimenting over here and trying to learn this thing and like messing around, it's like maybe it'll all be wasted time and nothing usable will result out of that, and then I'll just have wasted some time. But every now and then you figure out how to get a production hack that actually like suddenly it's like boom, you just saved like dozens of hours. And since that can sometimes happen, it's like, well, I have to start messing around until I figure out a little more consistently what type of things will provide like consistent reductions in time expenditure. And of course the challenge is with my animation the way I want it to be, because the AI can generate animation that is like, I would say it's very okay a lot of the times. It'll look at your character reference and you can be like, oh, I have a character doing this, and it'll have a character doing that, and sometimes it's even like good enough. It's like if it's a very generic action, like, oh, this character kind of shrugs their shoulders. It's like, okay, well, there's only so many ways a character can kind of shrug their shoulders, and especially if it's like a background part of the scene that's not even a focal character, there is a level where good enough is good enough. But anything that involves like more elaborate action, like being in a weird, goofy pose, Lula especially, she does not sit in a chair like a normal human being. She manages to like stick her leg up or like be resting backwards on it or flopping over and then like changing her pose to suddenly something else and having like a weird attitude. Like, because there's so much unique character motion like that, the generic stuff just doesn't work. And when AI tries to do that, it winds up just sort of looking weird and mechanical and bad. And so a lot of what I'm doing is sort of learning,
actually.
Say what?
You're getting a little robotic here.
Oh, is the call getting robot-y?
Yeah.
Is it still robot-y now?
Mm-hmm.
I'll try ending the call and starting it up again. Let's give that a shot.
Yeah.
Test, 1, 2. And now... Alright. I've started the call again, so if you want to jump back in there and let me know if it's still robot-y or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like that on stream too, but it was for me.
I'm not sure if it was coming through that for the stream, but if it was doing that in the call, then, might as well restart the call. Also, Chomps is really tearing up a lot of crinkly paper. Yeah, do you want to, like, banish her to the library or something? Her imperative to make as much...
I can hear that.
I can hear it too. Would you please put the dragon into a position where she cannot completely disrupt my entire existence?
She's crinkling.
Yeah, we call it crinking. Honestly, you get all these toys that the animal is supposed to like, and then the thing that it fucking loves is a bunch of dunning, like packaging paper that they put in packages to, protect the contents. And she'll just go and, like, crunch around that. She likes it because it makes crunchy sounds. It makes her feel important. So she'll just go in there and be crinking, especially during a stream.
Yeah, I don't buy traditional toys for pets anymore because they always just look at it and they're just like, what the fuck is this thing? I don't want to touch this. But if you give them a trash bag or something like that, it is the most amazing thing to them. They will investigate it. They will sleep in it. They'll fuck with it. Like,
yeah.
So it's very strange. Like, animals seem to have an instinct for that kind of stuff.
It's like they have some sort of magical sense of when they're being industrially pandered to, and they're just like, oh, so you think this is the sort of thing I would like? Nope. It's like, oh, okay.
I wonder if maybe it's like how animals, well, you know how frogs, poisonous frogs will have like loud colors to let everything know that they're dangerous to eat them. I wonder if animals have an instinct for that too, where they see something and they're like, why is this thing blue? What the fuck is up that? Should I be touching this?
Maybe. I wonder if they can tell that, if they can even see color. I don't know if Tegus can see color. But I know I also don't necessarily trust all the reptile expert opinion, because all the reptile expert people are like, oh, if you don't give your Tegu like this much coconut dirt that they can tunnel in, they love tunneling in coconut dirt. That's their favorite thing ever. You gotta give them coconut dirt. So we're like, yeah, okay, coconut dirt for Chomp. So we got the enclosure, and it's like, here you go, coconut dirt, the heaven of Tegus. And then, you put the Chomps in the dirt, and Chomps just look at you like, what? You have put me into dirt. Why am I? What is this dirt for? Why am I in dirt? And given the choice, she would much rather run around on carpet and crink in paper. Not interested in dirt at all. So I'm just like, you know what? I think a lot of these reptile gurus, it's like, do you just keep your animal in an aquarium all the time, and the only thing it can do is dig around in the dirt because it's impossible for it to do anything else? Well, if that's the case, I'm sure it's going to love coconut dirt more than anything, because that's all it has, But give them a choice, and no, she's crawling into cardboard boxes, crinkly paper, like paper lanterns that she crushes up and crinkles the plastic on them. Dirt does not rank. Dirt does not rank up there at all for her. Alright, Liz, is the call sounding better on your end currently?
Yeah, you're fine. It's great.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Turning
it
off.
seems like that was a Telegram thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the power of turning it
Which a
on
relief
and
to me, because I've had internet issues for the past 24 hours, and I didn't want to have to go and deal with that shit again.
Yeah.
Is everybody on Earth just having internet issues this week, or like? Did they cut the
As
cable?
far as I know, just
Ocean?
me. I don't know what other stuff has been going on.
Well, I was actually having some issues earlier today over here. I wasn't sure why, but it wasn't a big deal, so I didn't think much about it.
But unfortunately, the people that I called did not tell me what was going on. Either they didn't know or they weren't willing to tell me. So
It's the
I don't
FBI.
know. They just said it was an outage. They were working on it. They said it was unexpected. That was all that they really said.
Maybe we've got like a cyber attack going on, and they're just like, "Oh, don't tell the public; they'll panic."
Everything's fine.
I mean,
Nothing to see here.
It could be that like somebody could hit them with a cyber attack, and maybe they don't even know that that's what it is.
Your cyber attack was so lame. I didn't even know I was cyber attacked. Actually,
But yeah, it sounds good now. Fortunately, so I guess that's the fix. Is when somebody tries to roboticize Dave, you gotta just reboot Telegram, and that solves it.
Yeah, just tell him.
just turn it
Tell
on
him
and
he's being
off again.
roboticized.
Fixes everything.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, Firu earlier he said sticking with what you already know feels easier than trying to learn something new. And I think that's like
What the Backrooms movie is all about.
Oh, really?
Believe it or
Really?
not. Yeah, they're talking about like the guy, the black guy that's like the Captain Clark, the guy who owns like the furniture store. He's actually like he's a good actor. He's like the whole thing with him is like kind of funny, but he ends up being like really kind of like bad because like he's in therapy because he just went through a divorce or something, and his whole the woman's always talking to him. His therapist is like, we return back to these like paths of least resistance because it's like the neural pathway that we are used to, and it's the easiest thing to do, and that's what creates these like patterns that we do, and if the patterns are bad, they fuck us,
Yeah.
and that's what like they kind of allude to the backroom sort of being is like something somewhere is like remembering things, and they're remembering them over and over and over, and that's why it's like kind of like a room or like a building, but it's also like not, because it's like being remembered wrong or something over the course of like cycles of it returning back to it. But
That's cool.
it's not clear exactly like what they're like how that relates to the Backrooms, but they spell out a lot of like what they kind of want you to know in the movie, and that's like, it surprised me that they added any kind of thing like that to the Backrooms at all. But that guy, the like 21-year-old guy who did all the videos on YouTube, he's like extremely intelligent guy. He's like if you watch interviews with him, you can tell, but he's got a really great like handle on like just how to make a good movie and how to tell a good story.
I think if I can get it done fast enough before it leaves theaters, after I get Captain's Log 4 done and posted, I want to treat myself by going to see Backrooms.
Oh yeah, go see it. Yeah, it's really good.
I'm gonna go
That's
see
funny because I think the trailer for that dropped on April 1st, and I was like, that's a good one, you guys. You got me. I almost believed you.
Well, I like the YouTube videos so much. I just thought they had like a cool vibe to how like sort of like spooky, and it reminded me too a lot of being a security guard on the night shift in a completely empty building. Because there's
Yeah.
some floors and some levels of those buildings I'd walk through where it really felt like Backrooms type of shit. It'd be totally emptied out. The tenant is gone. They're waiting for someone new to come in. Just empty rooms and like fluorescent lighting and shadowed corners and
You ever walk through an office that they did renovation on while you were gone?
Yeah.
That's a little spooky. When I worked security years ago, I had brutes, of course. It makes sense because you're doing the same goddamn thing, sometimes multiple times per day, or every day that you come in, you have like a routine that you do, and like one day you just walk in and you find out that during the weekday or something, because like I work weekends, during the weekday They just like walled off an entire area. You just look there and you're like, I swear to God, there was a door here. What the fuck? Like, and it will like it be done. They will just have. They did it. You know, they probably did it just in a few days, and they got everything painted and everything. So you just walk through an area, and you just feel like the building is shifting around you.
Yeah, because they'll sometimes like rework the floor plan and stuff to the specifications of a new tenant or something. If there's like a new renter that comes into that section of the building.
So I imagine that like whoever came up with the idea for the back rooms, they were somebody who had to deal with like abandoned buildings, or they worked security in areas that were just like deserted a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's that interesting juxtaposition of something that feels totally deserted and alien, but it's also man-made and artificial.
Yeah. It sounds like there's something specific that movie is built off of, though, other than just the idea of the backrooms. I thought the backroom was just like a meme that somebody posted. They just like put a picture of it, and they were just like, "It's spooky," and then
they made a whole bunch
people
of
started.
They made a whole bunch of like YouTube videos about it.
They're like 10 minutes long, don't they? Aren't they?
I think the first one is something like maybe 8 minutes. It feels like a long 8 minutes though, because it's like I remember seeing the first one, and it was like, oh, it was so cool. It started out with like just these like kids playing around with like a video camera, like, oh, we're making a movie, and one of them was like in a monster mask, and then the guy filming like stumbled back. You know, it was just like kids fucking around in the summer outside together. But the guy filming stumbles, and then like when he recovers himself, he's like, what the fuck? He's like in the back rooms, and he doesn't know what the hell it is or anything. So then the whole movie is just him like trying to figure out like, and it's not like he's talking to himself. Thank God he's not talking to himself long. Like, listen, Link. There's none of that. So he's just wandering around like with his camera, trying to be like, where am I? How do I get out of here? And then, you know, towards the end, spoiler alert, it's not a good place for anyone to be. But yeah, I forgot how I started talking about that. But it's, they got a whole series of videos. And then there's like videos where there's like government officials or scientists or something that are trying to like do explorations into the back rooms to start figuring out what it is and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the lineage of it was. If it really was how I thought it was, where just somebody posted a picture and just said, "Guys, doesn't this look spooky? I think this is spooky." Then probably somebody from like the SCP group made some thing about it where it's like, yeah, there's this like infinitely expanding set of chambers that look like just old abandoned building, and there's like a shadow creature in it, and he'll get you. And that's like always that's every interpretation I find of it is there's something skulking around in there, and it's just gonna eat up all your organs or something like that if it gets you.
There's always the organ,
which I find very boring, and I kind of figured the movie was going to be that. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I know some of the videos actually, ironically, the subject matter you'd think it would be more boring, but it kind of was more interesting to me. There was one video in this YouTube series where it was just like an expose from someone that was trying to do a material analysis of like a fluorescent light that was retrieved from the back rooms. And so they're like analyzing like the manufacturing label, the molecular composition and all this stuff, because it's like it's not it's not real. It wasn't manufactured anywhere in our world, yet it still has all this manufacturing information that's sort of like garbled and wrong, almost like if AI was generating information.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about when like an AI tries to generate text and you read it and it's just like blah, blah, blah.
You know what, I honestly thought that was like Ukrainian for the longest time. Whenever I saw garbled AI, I thought it was like, oh, that's
because of Mamo.
No, just in general. It's like, oh, that must be Chinese or Ukrainian.
It must be Ukrainian.
Every time I'm like having trouble spelling something, I'm like, damn, I can't spell this word, but at least I know Ukrainian.
After I watched the Backrooms movie, I actually looked up the playlist of all of Kane Parsons' old like Backrooms videos, and all of those are are interesting to me. I never really was interested in the backroom stuff because it's just like it's spooky, eerie, nasty looking room from like some Milwaukee hotel or something, and whatever. There's a monster in there. Okay, it reminds me a lot of like Slender Man and Jeff the Killer and just retarded shit like Reddit children would be into. But he actually like tells an interesting story with it, and he doesn't really try to make it into like some stupid ARG type thing or anything. He's just like, what you're watching is fiction, and it's just interesting fiction. So like, yeah, I saw the one where they were like they took like a light back with them and tried to analyze it. And they were like looking at it and they were talking about how like there's no way to turn the power off to it. Like they cut there's like a cable that's connected, to like a conduit thing that's like actually running through the entirety of the like complex or whatever. And they cut that. They actually physically like severed it and the lights just never would go out and stuff. Like, I don't know, stuff like that's interesting in fiction because it forces you to sort of like imagine and wonder like, yeah, how would that work? And like, why would that be like that? Who would design something like that?
I feel like it's dangerous territory to go when you're creating something because on the one hand, it's like, oh my God, am I going to spend 5 minutes doing an exposition dump on the composition of like fluorescent lighting? I'm going to bore people to tears. No, there's no engagement. There's no conflict. There's no character drama. What am I doing? But I feel like it breaks every rule of storytelling, right? But to me, that's an example of like sometimes you do have to have a sense for when to break the rules, and sometimes you break the rules, and it's not just like, oh, it happens to work. It's like, no, it's sort of necessary to work. I feel like that fluorescent lighting thing for me is a good example of that because there's no conflict, there's no character, there's no dialogue, there's no fascinating visuals. But the fact that they took this one like artifact from that setting and you can understand like these people are struggling. They are doing their best to wrap their minds around what exactly is going on here. And they are taking such a detailed look at it and delving so much into it that it sort of sends the audience the message that like, hey, whatever's going on here, we thought through this. There is something going on here. It's very interesting. We put a lot of thought into the detail, and these people are also trying to puzzle it out just like you. And there's something about the exact execution of that worked really well. Like you can execute that same thing, and if it's not done right, it's just going to be boring. It'll be like watching paint dry. But that particular example, I don't even know exactly why it works so well, but it did something to make the world seem detailed and real, and so it kind of brought the unreality of it to life in a more tangible way.
Yeah,
Hey.
my guess with
Just off topic, whenever you guys are done, Dave, they're asking how far are the books completed? Like Ascension, how far is Ascension done?
The Andorina lore section is all the stuff is written up, all the stuff is drawn up. I just have to lay out the pages for that. And we're working on the Serapeum stuff now, and I think the Serapeum stuff is going to come together faster than the Andorina stuff. I don't really have like a hard number or a percentage. Volume 6 is proceeding pretty good as well, so as always, if you want like the most up-to-speed updates, we do give, like every couple of weeks we put a brand new behind-the-scenes update on the Patreon. And so we usually alternate between Prelude, Ascension, and Volume 6 updates.
Volume 6, yeah. Well, they're curious about Ascension, but we're still drawing it, so it's not even formatted yet.
Yeah, but on the other hand, once all the illustrations are there and once all the text is in place, I feel like formatting the actual pages, it does take some time, but it doesn't take as much time as like drawing it, It's just kind of fun. It's like the equivalent of compositing an animation, where after all the stuff is actually animated, then you just kind of put it together, massage it, make it look extra beautiful, and there you go.
Yeah, so this is the hard labor right now.
Ironically, this is kind of what got us on the topic of the backrooms because of the thematic nature of it. Ironically, the hard labor is what I was describing as like sort of me being lazy when it came to doing the animation stuff, where it's like it would be lazy for me to just like buckle down and do everything by hand. And normally when people are critiquing AI use, they're like, oh, if you use AI, you're lazy. But like I can tell for me as an artist, like it's actually going to be intellectually lazy for me to shy away from learning something new that could be really, really helpful. Music, stop giving me words. Because the easiest thing to do, I know it's not technically lazy. Technically, I'm working and like moving my pencil around all day long. But it's in like a comfort.
Well, it's
It's in
like
a comfort zone though. It's like, oh, I'm comfortable. I know how to do this. I don't have to think about how to learn something new. And then you just like, and it's nice. It's nice to wield a skill that you can wield really well, but I don't know. There's just too much at stake when it comes to like, well, can I potentially develop my skills even further to the point where I can actually bring whole shows to life? Because now there's technology that maybe. The answer is maybe, but it's like I kind of owe it to, like, if you actually care about what you're making, if you actually think it legitimately does have the potential to bring value to people, if you think it might be actually worthwhile as a product, then you kind of owe it to do what you can to bring it to life successfully. And like, I actually think what we're making is really, really cool and worthwhile. So it's like, I need to, if there's new tools that could make all this work really way better and way faster, then I need to like just actually stop being intellectually lazy. And this is a great opportunity. Captain's Log 4. I need to try messing around with this stuff, and I need to see what it can really do.
Okay, so what is happening to that moon you're drawing? What are you doing here?
Oh, this is not a moon. This is a really nasty critter.
what the fuck?
Okay.
By the way, have we
Thank
talked
you.
about the fact that GarageBand hit 16K?
What? It hit 16?
Did it?
I did not know.
Yeah, it's 1660 right now.
Oh,
What?
nice.
That's 1660 with 6 shouty shoulders.
Well, now I'm going to turn on the beat. The book cover is flashing on screen. So yeah, for
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
anyone that is in our stream and they're not familiar with GarageBand, that is, we do run a publishing company, and this is the book that we are crowdfunding right now. I'm not the author, but I did the cover art. But yeah, apparently it just hit 16. That's fantastic. 500 more bucks, and the people at the plush level are getting 2 plush. Not 1, 2. And the plush that won the vote for the design was Ginger. So if we get that second one unlocked, which it's looking like it's very likely, then we're gonna have to put a new poll up to see what people want for the second plush.
Dominique on YouTube says that he's excited for next Captain's Log.
Oh, thank you. Like, I know I'm talking about like, oh, I put
People
so
really
much
like the
animation.
captain's logs. I knew people would kind of dig them, but I didn't realize we would get like the response. They're like some of our most watched videos on YouTube is captain's logs.
Like, I don't even want to like hype myself up too much, because I'm not like a huge YouTuber putting out all this content all the time. You know, I tend to do more comics and stuff, but I don't know. The Captain's Logs, they've been really fun. They've been very, I think people might just like to listen to them because they're chill. I kind of give a tour of all the stuff we're working on, give a little bit of an insider info. I've got like a little bit of that relaxed Toonami vibe going. But this new one, I don't know if every Captain's Log is going to be up to what we're doing right now, but this one actually has like comedic adventures happening with Dave and Lula, and Lula cannot fucking sit still, so she's really, really pushing the animation budget up there. It's fun though.
We're going above and beyond on that one. We're finding out what AI can't do.
Well,
Just squash and stretch.
I kind of led myself into a bit of a box canyon in parts 2, because occasionally you'll get something where it's like, oh my gosh, it just did this one thing really well. Excellent. I'm off the chain. I can animate anything. Here we go. And then you start a more ambitious animated sequence than normally it's like, oh, I don't have time to do this. But since AI is working so well, I guess now I do have time to do it. And then when it comes to that sequence, oh, now AI can't do that part very well. And you're like, well, fuck. I've already put so much work into this, but I need to do this part manually. Okay, well then I'm just gonna really be going all out on this animation. So it's the end result is that like there's a lot more life to the animation than there would have been before. And normally it'd be impossible for me to like actually get this much animation out there. It's still taxing me a lot more than I anticipated, but the kind of the combo and the benefit here is because AI is making a lot of them are generic animations. Actually, it is accelerating those. Like sometimes if Captain Dave is like,
You
oh,
can lip sync real easy.
yeah, a little bit of just generic lip sync, like, oh, I just need him to turn his head over here or over there. If it can help make that stuff go faster, then I can actually have more of my time to make Lula doing all these like really elaborate squash and stretch, anticipation, intention. So like the stuff that AI really can't do that well, I'm able to do more of that because I'm not being spread too thin on like the just like the more mundane tasks.
So this
Imagine
is like a
there's
scary
like
sombrero.
yeah, I saw that. I'm guessing it's not a sombrero though.
What, this thing I'm drawing?
It's kind of hard to see from. Well, I have it kind of small on my screen.
No,
It sort of looks like it's either a hermit crab situation or that thing is chomping on something's head.
It's kind of like if a hermit crab looked a lot like a crescent moon and it was also like 100 feet tall and hovering and had cuttlefish arms and was going to grab you.
Oh, good. Yes, we don't know how big this is.
This thing is ridiculously big. They do not. You don't see them very often. When you do see them, it's a bad year.
Yeah.
Would they have a crab battle?
Crab battle. Yeah. So I don't know. I've been having a lot of adventures with trying to see in this captain's log animation. Okay, what is AI going to actually be helpful with? What is it good at? What is it not good at? And I'm glad I'm kind of learning.
Yeah, I imagine that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm glad I'm like buckling down and making myself mess around with it because it's the only way I'm gonna get some experience with it is by making myself get some experience with it.
And by
Yeah.
putting yourself on a deadline, that's the perfect opportunity to really push yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more difficult mentally than just hitting autopilot and being like, well, I know how to do these things and I'm just gonna keep on doing the thing. I already learned Blender. I have learned enough. I'm not going to learn anything more. So I'll just keep on doing that forever. Like that would be psychologically a lot easier. It's a lot more difficult to be like, well, I learned all this shit and I've developed all these skills over the course of my life, and now time to learn something completely that works on a totally different methodology, like 100% different. Let's learn something totally new.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem for, well, everyone really. I don't know anyone that would choose to do something slowly then quickly if they had the option. Like if it were just free.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're all gonna die someday. So the quicker we get things done, the more stuff we get to get done. So having to stop and learn something instead of working feels like you're not getting much done. I kind of feel this way with coding because when you're coding, you'll actually spend a fair amount of time just reading stuff. There's this whole thing with coding where you really want to. This is kind of like what I'm doing with Skirmish right now, is I'm trying to manage the complexity of it because all the complexity makes it take longer to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
You can't hold everything in your head at once, so you need to have techniques for cutting things up and making things easier to understand and reduce the cognitive load. Because the sooner you do that, the sooner you can get into actually programming something that you want to like make happen, something that's new. But like people are kind of just that way. So I think like and for AI too, if you're not like, if you've never really spent time trying to do animations, or you're not really that much of like an artist as far as like a painterly sense, you're not picking up a tablet or anything and actually drawing stuff, and you get AI and start doing animation, you'll probably have an easier time with it. But if you're somebody like you, Dave, that has spent all this time learning how to do something one way, that technique is low cost to you because you already know how it works. You already know what it's going to do. You don't have to experiment. It's predictable.
Yeah.
What's unpredictable is trying to hand all this stuff over to an AI. And I imagine there are some scenarios where you'll invest all this time into getting some clip to work, and it turns out great. It's exactly what you wanted. But then, like you said, you'll try to get it to do something else, and it will fail miserably. And now you have a conundrum. Here's a clip that is animated with AI, and it has more frames of animation that you probably would have done yourself. Now there's this other thing that it can't do. What do you do now? Do you have this weird, like, smooth animated one in the mix, and then into like dispersed in with the stuff that you had to like make? Now you have to make everything look consistent. Because it's not consistent, I would think that it would be a little bit jarring trying to see it. And that sucks. Like in some cases, it might be like an all or nothing type of thing.
Yeah, it's really like, I don't know. I'm learning a lot from it, but it's definitely difficult, and it's difficult partially because, like you said, I've already got an established skill set. I feel a lot of times, especially at the start, I'm getting more of a hang to it now. I'm developing some pipelines to get more predictable results, but especially at first, it's like, I know the result. The result is right there. It's like a cookie in a cookie jar, and I can just reach my hand in and grab that cookie. But I'm gonna force myself to build some kind of Rube Goldberg contraption that will much more efficiently like be lowered down to like manually extract cookies for me. And like,
Well,
yeah, I'm
Dave.
told like in the future, if you figure out this like mechanical, super high-tech method of getting the cookie from the cookie jar, it's just gonna make life easier forever. You're gonna be able to get so many cookies from the cookie jar, it'll be great. But then like every time I try to build this machine and it fails, there's like such a temptation to just like fucking grab the cookie because I know how to do it.
Okay, well, Dave, isn't it kind of like you're like an award-winning like runner, but then you're trying to learn how to ride like a Dr. Seuss bike?
Yeah, I guess. Like, but so the thing is like and even people casually listening to this might just be like, well, if you know how to animate on your own, and why even like use the AI stuff? Why mess with it at all? But I think that part of even this experience with Captain's Log 4 is I'm doing so much manual animation that it's definitely also reinforcing for me exactly why this new technology is going to be potentially very important, because traditional animation by hand takes fucking forever. It's fun, I enjoy it. The result is beautiful. You can't really get results like that any other way that I'm aware of. But oh my god, it will drain your life to put like 3 seconds of something onto the screen.
Well, I will say I can hear you like hemming and hawing for a half hour, and then finally you're like, finally, it saved me 5 hours of work.
Yeah, like
Yeah, 3 hours in or something.
Yeah, like the AI generation itself is like, it can be a mixed bag result, but even just doing everything, because honestly, most of this stuff, probably over 80%, maybe 90%, most of the stuff is hand drawn. Like, it's still traditionally done. AI is helping with some things, but it's still like the end result here is I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about what it's good at, but ultimately I'm still doing most of the stuff completely by hand. But doing all these things completely by hand, it's so ferociously time consuming that it's just like, you know what? This is going to be like, it's just a few minutes of animation in here, aside from like the normal Captain's Log stuff where I'm like, oh, I've been working on this, I've been working on that, and showing pictures. So the animation stuff, it's really only like a couple of minutes. We're not talking a lot of runtime, but it takes such an extraordinary amount of human labor to do it the old-fashioned way that it's like, if you care about more than just posturing as I'm an artiste, if you actually care about the work, and if you actually care about getting something really cool successfully brought to life so other people can enjoy it, other people can watch it, then yeah, you're gonna have to learn how to leverage these tools. Unless you're one of these trust fund kids that has like, an extra $500,000 with which to hire animators to do it for you. Unless you have the trust fund cash, these tools are your only chance to make a substantial amount of animated content at the level of quality that is what I would want to make stuff at. And that's why it's like, it's tempting to just reach in the cookie jar, boom, I got my cookie, haha. Like, granted, reaching in the cookie jar in this case takes 4 days of reaching into the cookie jar, but as much of a mental strain as it is to try to learn something that is a completely different approach, it's like, well, if you really care about actually getting stuff done, then you're gonna have to make yourself learn some new tricks. So I guess that's
Yeah.
my
And
Yeah,
I
like,
think you'll find in life that people don't generally want to do that for anything, not just for AI. Like I just like when I work customer service, sometimes we would change things about like our user interface or something like that, and you get people calling in and they'd say, well, I don't know how to do this anymore. Why can't you just make it like the way it was before? And there'll be a reason why. It won't just be because we're just trying to fuck with them. It's because there's
We're just
some
trying to fuck with
underlying
you. Uh-huh.
yeah, we just thought it would be cool to just inconvenience you. No, it's like this will be good in the long run, but you do need to learn how to do this a different way than you're used to doing. Or sometimes they would call in, they'd be doing something just flat out wrong. It would be something that causes problems, and so we would explain the reason that this is happening is because you're doing it this way. So I know you don't want to do it this other way, but if you do it this way, then it won't result in the thing that you're seeing here. Or like I'd want to I don't know, create a patient in one program and have it like beam over to another instead of like just doing it directly or something like that. And so we would have to like explain to them that here's what's great about doing it a different way. But no one wants to do it a different way because they already have stuff that they're dealing with. And having to learn something new, again, it adds to your cognitive load, it adds more uncertainty. It's the potential, it's like a new thing that you have to grapple with that you just, otherwise it would just not be a thing you'd have to even think about. So no one wants to do that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, it's just when I worked at the library, they got a new system, and it was just the most painful thing to learn. And we librarians and everyone had to learn it, and it was just like, I was just looking at the person who bought the program, like, really,
Yeah, well, sometimes like there's an innovation that comes along that's unnecessary, and it's just someone's like, well, I thought it'd be really cool to change things up, so I feel like I matter, and yeah. But a lot of times, I think our generation in particular, like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we have had the most aggressive disruption to how everything works due to technology than any previous human. Like, I mean, think about someone 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. I mean, obviously there were groundbreaking like advancements in farming and stuff, but usually it's like if you're farming and you have a hoe and you have ox and you pull the cart and you learned how to farm from your grandfather, and there might be a few new little farming techniques over the course of the centuries where it's like, oh man, we just learned this new system that irrigates a little bit better. But the pace of change and the pace of learning those things, I mean, compared to now, when I grew up, there was no such thing as the internet. Like the pace of the change in my lifetime has been fucking blinding with how much technology has changed and everything. Now you can't run a business without the internet. Like, I mean, most businesses, if you don't have like some kind of online presence and marketing strategy and everything else, it's just like dead on arrival. Like whole industries are just like collapsing, and like the direct comic market, that used to be a thing like in the 80s. Now it's just like toast. Diamond is going into bankruptcy. There's just been...
Do you want to explain what you're drawing?
Oh yeah, I'm doing just some doodles for the Ginger plush, because we gotta get some plush. Now that they voted on who the plush is gonna be, it's gonna be Ginger. So I'm drawing some Ginger.
I knew that. Ginger! But I had to get you to say it to them because they're asking.
Ginger.
Is she not?
John Paul come out with a new song called Ginger.
Oh, no kidding.
Like this year or last year.
Obviously, he could tell the future. He knew that Ginger was going to be a hot topic.
Yeah. He came back 20 years later after having like a hit, and he did a song about Ginger.
Ginger, everyone's favorite quadruple amputee, based on how I'm drawing her.
Yes.
You know what? Please put some feet on this. What are you doing?
It's a plush. Like, you don't want to have like a realistically.
We're just talking about how he doesn't like to draw feet.
Yeah. Where were you? But no, like a plush character, you're not supposed to put like, here's the hand and the wrist and the articulated elbow and like...
Oh, she's having trouble sitting if her legs are out like that.
Well, the legs will be floppy, Liz. You'll be able to flop the legs and then make her sit. I shouldn't have to explain this to you. You're the plush...
Have you never seen a plush?
I've seen a lot of makeshift plush, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be like that.
This is
Got
gonna be
little
like that.
drumsticks.
Better.
Only better.
Only more ginger.
I'm actually going to be relying
Who
on
won
you
the-
a lot for the design aspects, Liz, because you know actually the mechanics of how plush goes together better than me. I'm just kind of getting some of the visual design stuff down here.
Well,
He
you're
looks
gonna
like
have
a
to look at
fucking
the-
RimWorld
yeah.
character right now.
She kind of looks like Sally from Sonic.
Bailey.
Only if she was
Oh
brown.
yeah, she kind of does.
She's going to be ginger colored, so that'll be totally different.
You could reuse the design and just make it brown. Just
Make
say
this
it's
one
Sally
brown,
Acorn.
and then it's the Princess Chipmunk plush.
Princess.
And then of course you have to
Oh.
deal with the Sonic
Ever.
fans.
Oh, we don't. Sell stuff
What?
to him.
He's going to say we will not have to deal with them.
Said
We will
no.
only sell stuff to them.
Yeah, we don't have to really deal with them. Just sell stuff. Just they buy stuff in the store. They get it. You're happy.
I think we might get some people that will say something like, actually Sally's like chest patch, it's like a different color. You got the tone of it wrong.
Well, that's
in
great because it's not
issue-
Sally.
Check.
Okay.
Checkmate.
I guess you weren't like
What do you
really
think about
following what
that?
we were talking about.
No, it's not Sally.
Checkmate, atheist.
I miss that era of YouTube. I feel like that was when YouTube. It was like that fun era of the internet when creationists.
That
and
was like
atheists were
peak, the
fighting.
peak of YouTube. Yeah.
And they all took it so
Yeah, well,
seriously. It was so cute.
YouTube's another thing too. Like we really have like just had the most like exponential. We're right on like the what do you call it? Like the bank of that curve
Yeah.
for technology. Like our generation is the one who lived through that. We're the last people who lived where there was no internet or cell phones.
Yeah, when I grew up,
That
there
is
was
true.
the only phones were plugged into the wall with those spiral cords, and if you got too far away from the phone, the spiral cord would stretch out. You had to stop. There was no internet. Phones were analog. And now
TV was analog.
yeah, now even the internet itself, like if you're like, oh, you have a website and you don't have a social media footprint, now even like the way that you used the internet 10 years ago is completely obsolete. And the way that we use the internet now is going to be completely obsolete again in like another 5 or 10 years because AI is completely changing the entire landscape. Like everything is just changing so fast and so and it's not just like minor tweaks, it's like everything changes in its totality. You can't even like have a house building standing in the same spot. It's like the earth just shifts completely. So we really are I guess I'm saying all that, I'm making those observations to say that's partially why I'm like, nope, I gotta stay mentally flexible. I gotta try to learn some new shit because things are changing so fast that if you don't learn new shit, you will just get left behind.
Dave, I don't like the nubs and the legs on this. I think she needs like little like footies. Like you need to redesign the arms and the feet and the legs on this.
Okay, refresh the stream. I think you're gonna like what I'm doing here.
This is really going to come
Individual
down to
fingers.
what we can manufacture.
You
So this
suck.
is just probably a very basic design for now.
She
No,
should
I'm-
have fully articulated legs and knees and ankles and all that stuff.
I'm fixing it.
Head, shoulders, knees,
Oh my
and toes.
god.
This is according to Liz. We want the nails on the fingers. We want the nails on
Fucking
the toes.
troll foot.
Is this more like what you wanted, honey?
The monkey's paw wish.
Ah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Because you just might get it all.
She's
The
gotta have a
evil
big-
genie grants your wish.
Yeah.
Oh god, what is? Oh, okay, it's a tail.
I will show you splendors. It shows you a ginger with like a gross feet and hands. The person's like, no, no.
Use your third wish to make them go away.
I wish for a third beer,
Use your third
but it's
wish
also flat.
to take
It's
her.
also flat and warm.
They're saying they can't eat while they listen to your stream, Dave. You ruined it for everyone.
Do you want to take away her toenails? Yes, please take Ginger's toenails away. Make your third
And rips
wish.
them off, throws them at you.
Yeah, so we'll find a middle ground between
Yeah.
the nubs and the Ren and Stimpy appendages. I'm not sure what the middle ground will be, but we'll have a truce of some sort.
But yeah, there's just gonna be some people who get like left behind in this. Like, I don't, the whole like John Henry thing in the what the whole like American mythos. You know how there's like all those old like Paul Bunyan and stuff like
yeah,
that.
John Henry
Yeah,
with the machine. Yeah.
yeah, like how he tried to like beat the machine and doing like the railroad spikes and stuff, and he couldn't do it. It's like, yeah, because it's it's a machine that's like tireless.
Do it. He did do it. He beat the machine, but he died doing it. That's the
But
story.
who really won?
He cooked so
That-
hard that it
He-
killed him.
You can beat the
Yeah,
machine all
he had a
across
heart.
your
He
life.
beat it. He beat it, but he had a heart attack. That's a tragedy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you have people now. Like I know an artist personally. Well, I used to know this guy. I don't know this guy now, but like, he would constantly brag about how I don't use any of that digital stuff. I just do all my stuff traditional. And then like he does stuff like paint on canvas, and like it looks okay. It doesn't even look as good as digital stuff, even if you see it in real life. And it also like doesn't translate well on site because he doesn't have like a super cool scanner to scan stuff in. He has like a regular scanner, which he still uses, by the way. He scans stuff in case he makes a mistake, and that way he can print a thing off. Like, just fucking learn how to use CSP, you fucking idiot. Anyway, like he like talks about this stuff like it's some accomplishment. And it's like, if you're like Alex Ross or somebody like that, and you're doing this to like, I want to use traditional art because I want to have like the way paint looks when it's mixed. I want there to be like a painting when I'm finished and stuff. If you're doing that, yeah, sure. Then you have something to talk about how you're doing that. But if your art looks worse than your digital counterparts, than like other people who are doing art digitally, and your art doesn't look as good as theirs, and you're taking pictures of it with like a stupid digital camera and uploading it so it looks like fucking like colored pencils when it goes online, then yeah, like, I'm sorry, man, you just are gonna have to learn to use some type of technology because all of your competitors are doing that. He wonders, by the way, like why not? I don't know. People just don't share my art. Like, cause yeah, they can share this and it looks bad, or they can share this other stuff and it looks good. So
Yeah.
which thing do you think they're going to share? Which thing do you think they're going to click on?
It sounds like it's better in person, and he should go like have a gallery or like a store.
Well,
It's better in person, but it's still not good.
I don't even necessarily want to be like, everyone must, the only thing you can learn if you're going to be an artist, you have to learn AI. It's the only way. It's like, no, it is a tool.
I don't think that, yeah.
It's a powerful tool, but like there's guys out there like James Gurney is probably who I would point to as like oh no, this guy knows his way around traditional. Like there's like a lot of really cool stuff that can be done with traditional methods. But just understand, if you're going for like penciled, hand-drawn things like a lot of what I do, if you're going through for like hand-painted things like James Gurney, the fact that there's all these visual alternatives that are digital, it is going to raise the bar for the kind of the quality expectations that will be on anything anyone does. That's the thing, is right now the bar is being raised everywhere. Like back in the early 2000s, you could go out there with a webcomic and it could be like a crappy webcomic with bad art and it would still fly. People would still be like, oh wow, because there wasn't much competition. Now, not only is there competition, like there's like more webcomics than you could ever read that are already just like floating out there. But on top of that, even indie animation for the longest time kind of got a free pass on quality. It could be really, really janky, or even the writing could be really janky, but people would be like, well, it's indie. And if you noticed, ever since the mixtape thing and the Gameoverse thing came out, that the free ride has kind of ended. Now suddenly the bar is getting raised on quality everywhere, and the independent market is now being held to professional standards by viewers, generally speaking. So it's not like you can't do things traditionally. It's just that you have to understand the bar is being raised on quality requirements everywhere. So if you want to do something and have it be professionally viable, you just have to be serious about developing your skills, and you also have to understand what niche are you going to be filling where people are willing to pay for it, where people want it. Like there is going to be a niche for paintings made with real paint on real canvas, because there are things that you can get from the
obviously.
visual feel of that you just can't get from a digital print. Even like a painting printed on a canvas, it's not going to have the brush strokes. They're not going to capture the light the way a real oil painting will capture the light in an environment. So it's not that those arts will go away. It's not that demand is going to go away necessarily, but you just have to have a clear understanding of like, well, what am I doing, and who am I doing it for, and why would they want it? And then you have to have, the other very difficult thing is you have to understand how to market that. Like once you can create really, really solid professional level value, and the sort of people that would value it and they would give you money for it if they were aware of it, then the next job is to make them aware of the fact that you have professional tier value. And that's not, anyone that's tried to market something, it is definitely not as easy as like, oh, well, just tell people. It's like, it's a whole, it's another whole.
Some people
other
don't even
set.
think you have to do that. Yeah.
Hey Hazen, people were asking if you have a podcast because you rant a lot, and I told them you have the YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel. I've not uploaded anything to it in like fucking 20 years, but I am going to upload something to it very soon, and that is I'm going to upload a review. My review of the Amazing Digital Circus is sure to ruffle some feathers, so make sure you preen yours before you get on.
Get ruffled.
It's sure to
looking
rustle some
forward to this.
jimmies.
I like your other
Here, I'll link
reviews
you guys in my
that
YouTube
you
channel
put up
so you can
there.
go
Yeah.
subscribe. I'm not monetized or anything, but all my Yark music is on there too.
Oh, nice.
If you want to listen to that, if you're one of those freak kobold fuckers, there you go.
Yeah, it's good. So I find a lot that
Hayes review on Michiru.
even like
My review on Michiru. The Michiru show.
Yeah, here's what I think of
he
Michiru.
really was a
Sorry,
review on
Michiru.
Michiru too. He loves Michiru.
I do
Hazen,
love Michiru.
like
I
a
can't wait
1 hour
for the
review
new-
on Michiru.
New docu to come out. What did you say?
1 hour review on Michiru. Michiru review.
Yeah.
1 hour long. Yes.
I like your little boobies.
Smells.
The unboxing of Michiru.
On Michiru unboxing. Yeah. I was just gonna say that.
Unboxing.
It's really her. She's really here. She really came in a box and did not breathe air for 2 days.
She's flat.
That's okay. Just shake her up a little bit. She'll get fizzy again.
The Amazing Digital Circus is one of the top indie series. Yeah, I think it was. I don't think Gameverse will replace it, but I think that it was good. Like my review, I've told you what I think about it on here. Probably you've seen me talk about it on the stream if you've been on here for the last couple weeks. But I like Amazing Digital Circus. I don't think it's perfect. I have some gripes with it, especially after watching. I saw episode 9. And there was some, you probably know what this is if you've watched the show. There was like a whole thing in episode 9 that when I saw it in theaters, I didn't notice it. Like, I didn't catch like what they were putting down about Jax, so to speak, the rabbit guy. I didn't like really catch that. I thought like that the frog girl was just like flirting with him, and he was like, oh my god, I'm caring about someone, I can't have that, but of course if you follow anything TADC, you probably already know what I'm talking about and what they did. I don't want, in case people haven't got around to watching it. I mean, I could spoil it, I guess. Everybody's probably seen it that's going to watch it, but there was like a feature or whatever you want to call it. There was like a character trait they did with this character. And I didn't catch that at first, and now that's like out and it's pretty official that's what they were going for with the character. I don't know how I feel about it, because like I don't think it was foreshadowed at all, and I don't think it really adds much to the character for that to be that way. I don't think it really. It's strange to me that they chose to do that, and I don't know. I can't. It's hard to even speculate like what the motivations could have been. You could say like, oh, well, Gooseworks is trans, so they wanted to have a trans character, but they already had a trans character. So I don't think it was that. I don't think it was like a weird like reputation. What is no? That's not the word. What is the word in English for like representation? Representation. That's what I'm looking for, right? Yeah. I don't think it was like a representation thing. I don't really. Again, I don't know why they made that decision, and it feels strange to me. It doesn't feel like it really added much to the story, but I don't know. The audience seemed to like it. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe that's why, because there was a lot of audience people who were like, well, I want things to turn out this way and these characters to get together and blah, blah, blah. And then apparently Gooseworks was kind of getting sick of that shit. So maybe she just threw him a bone or something. I don't know. But again, it's hard to even speculate because I don't know anything about Gooseworks. Like who they are, what they're, like, well, I don't like anything. I don't know. People are saying that they've never created anything before this. That's news to me because I literally have looked up nothing about this person. I don't know anything about.
The chat knows the character's pronouns here.
The chat knows the character's pronouns. He was secretly trans. Yeah, I don't know. I did not feel like that they were secretly trans. I don't know. That might have been the intent of the like creator, but I never got that. Maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I'm just retarded. I don't know. And they used they, them. I didn't think that they did use they, them for Zubul. I thought Zubul they called her girl or female woman. They called her like Kratos calls his wife. I thought.
Listen, you.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch show for any of that fucking like flag and bio type shit. That was not like what I got out of it that I liked. I thought that it was a funny show. It had some very good humor in it. Kane is actually a really fun and complex character that I had a lot of fun watching. What they did with Kane is like totally something I don't think I've ever seen in a show. Kane's like an AI that's hell bent on serving his purpose, which is to make fun games for humans. And because he doesn't understand humans, he doesn't understand why the people in the digital circus don't want to play the games and why they aren't having fun with the games. Because the whole concept of like they're trapped here and they're just really focused on that is like incomprehensible to him. I like Kane. I think
they made an
the guy who
entire
played
show.
Kane did a great job.
It sounds like they made an entire show about that one episode of Voyager where a couple of the crew members get trapped in a simulation that's being run by a clown, and the clown is like, if you guys unplug, I stop existing. So if you try to even think about leaving, I'm just gonna like torture you until you die. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit like that, but he's not even like, I'm gonna torture. He's not like threatening them. He's just like, you guys don't want to leave, right? Like, yeah, he's like, you guys like these games, right? Like, why don't you like them? Because like he's like having a therapy session with the Zubul character, and then he's trying to like psychoanalyze her to be like, oh, I know what's wrong with you. I know just what to do to help. But in through doing that, he has like his own revelation about himself, which is like, I can't be bad at making games because that's the thing I'm good at. And if I'm bad at the thing I'm good at, then that doesn't make any sense. Like, he's like fun. He's anything Kane is doing. Anytime Kane is on screen, I thought it was funny. And I mentioned this in the review too, where I've got some of it recorded already, where like I thought my first like exposure to this was like a joke video someone made. I think they were just making fun of like how much cursing is in like Vivzy Pop's cartoons, and they just had Kane, and he was like, "Welcome to the fucking circus. I'm your bitch, Kane. Fuck, 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 fuck." And he's like floating. And I thought that was like an actual clip of the show. I thought I was like, that's sort of funny, you know. And like I just never got around to watching it because I was like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like this for me. I don't like the character designs. Kane's character design is the only character design that grew on me because they actually use his teeth like head as like a substitute for like his eyebrows a lot and stuff and like his expressions, and it just there's a lot of really funny visual gags with Kane. So he's one of the things I appreciate most about the show. But that's what I got out of it. It's a funny show. There's the characters are funny. It is a little bit of a therapy show, but the therapy stuff is like kind of wrapped up in this nice little horror wrapper, and the horror stuff is it's subtle at the beginning, and it kind of like is, well, I don't want to say subtle. It's like it's in the background a little bit in the beginning, and as the show goes on towards the end, it becomes more about that and less about the comedy, and that's not always easy to do. And I thought that Gooseworks, who apparently is the only person really writing any of this stuff, did a great job with that. So, you know, whatever, like, you know, quote unquote woke stuff made it into that. I don't know. And it's not something that ruined the show for me or anything. So, you know, I recommend it to people. I recommend people check the first episode out if you have never seen it, because like it's short. So you're not going to overstay its welcome. If you don't like it, you're not going to waste a whole bunch of time.
I wonder. I'm not aware or involved in any of this, but I wonder if it's kind of like when J.K. Rowling announced that actually Dumbledore is gay. Whoa.
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe that was
what was going on.
Yeah,
I kind of thought maybe that was what it might have been. Like, oh, actually, this character is this or something, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel that's how I feel about it. Like my reaction to that is the same. It's just like, oh, okay,
Well,
sure.
That's where it kind of gets interesting to look at. Is there like a contrast between what the work is versus like what the intent of the author was? Because at some point, once the work is out there and it's done and it's tangible and people can consume it, then there is sort of like a threshold where it goes outside of the author's hands. And then people, you know, are free to interpret it however they want, and the author can't necessarily fly in and be like, "Oh no, you are not, you don't see what I wanted you to see. What I wanted you to see is," and it's like, well, the thing is though, they're gonna see what they see.
You're media literate.
Yeah, it's like at that point, you no longer get to interpose yourself between your work and the people engaging with your work. And it's going to be those people engaging with your work that decide for themselves what does it mean to them. And like, you know, obviously, are there things that are objectively right and wrong? Like Luke Skywalker, in my view, he is actually green the whole time. It's like, yeah, like you can make some ridiculous like edge cases to show that like, well, sometimes the fans are objectively wrong. But I don't know. But generally speaking, like especially when it comes to like what the work means or what the characters are like, you know, after it's there, if the information you want the audience to know, if that information is not in the work, then, you know, you can still say what you want about it as a creator, but it almost makes it at the level where it's just more commentary about the work, because the work kind of has a life of its own once it's done and once it's out.
it's kind of odd when it seems like an afterthought and it's not actually in the work.
Yeah, and it's, again, authors can have afterthoughts, but if it's not in the work, then you can't necessarily expect every single person engaging with the work to stop and check like your cliff notes that are outside of it. It's sort of
Yeah.
It's sort of like
I'm not even
when people, like, my last thought on the thing, it's sort of like a little similar to me when fine artists have like a big bunch of splotches on a canvas and you're like, oh, well, I guess you were just going for some abstract stuff, and they're like, no, here, and then they hand you like a 30-page essay about what it means, and it's like, well, yeah, but if you need to hand me an essay about what it means, then your art failed to communicate that. So that's the information.
No, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're just not media literate, chud. Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
We're over
The ending thing didn't bother me that much, but I'm not even gonna say that I think it was an afterthought. I don't know. Like I don't know anything about the creator, and I don't really know. Somebody said in the chat that it might have been like that was like a way for them to kind of like strike out at people's stupid like headcanon shit or something. If so, that's funny. I think they should just like reveal that that's why they did it, even if it's not. I think that would be the funniest outcome.
That would be pretty funny.
Hazen, when you release your video, you should do like a ridiculous clickbait title, like Digital Circus's Donkey Balls, and then just have like it's completely different than the title, just like it's a legitimate thing.
I always do clickbait titles because that's how you get people to click, and then they stay if it's good.
Do you have any plans?
Yeah. Oh, someone's saying their EMV says their favorite part of the finale was when they all learned who they were and why they couldn't leave. Yeah, I liked that they learned that they were like why they couldn't leave. I don't think we needed to pay quite that much attention to all these like actors that were like the representations of that. You'll know what I mean. There's like a whole scene where it's just like people in the real world sitting at a bus stop together and getting on a bus, and they film every fucking step of it too. And it's just like, why did this need to be in this? There's like a live action part, yeah. And I really didn't like the live action. I'm gonna go ahead and say I didn't like it. I thought like it felt really out of place. It felt gross, and I don't know why they even bothered filming it. Again, it could be a way like a fuck you to like the bad parts of the community or something, but a lot of people seem to like that. And I liked the reveal that it's like, what are we doing here? And they find out why they're there, and then that leads to them like looking at like other people that are like out in the real world. And then there's like this thing that you're not even like when you're seeing these people get on the bus, you're not even seeing something the characters are seeing. It's just like a fucking thing that's just fucking there. And it doesn't make any fucking, that was like my biggest complaint about the finale. The rest of it was good, but that part I was like, why is this fucking here? This sucks. This is stupid. This doesn't need to be here. But everything else is good. Yeah, get this out of here. Animate something or something. Don't do that. But I mean, they probably didn't have time. I honestly don't even know if they knew they were going to be releasing that in theaters when they started work on episode 9.
Speaking of animating, are
we done?
Yeah, we are. This video is a little misleading. It doesn't actually magically transform into the back cover, but this is just not.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But it is going to have full stance and spot gloss position stretchables that we unlock. So the point of this little pocket video is to show you nice, shiny pumpkin.
There's ones in the book though, so if you like those, they'll be in there. And hurry, because there's only 4 days. Is there 4 days left now? Yeah, 4 days left. So this is your last chance to get a signed first edition copy of GarageBand.
Oh, they say they can't hear Dave. Oh, they say they can't hear Dave because of that music.
Because the music's too loud.
Poor music.
Oh, there was probably audio on the GarageBook cover thing that I was playing. That's dumb of me. Okay, well, sorry guys. All I was saying was exactly the book is gonna have shiny foil and spot gloss, and it's gonna be very pretty and hardcover. But unlike the video mock-up, it does not magically change into a different illustration.
Yeah,
cringe.
This is your last chance to get one signed by Jason. I don't think Jason makes it out too many conventions, so that might be hard to do later. As of right now, this is your last chance to pick up one of these figures too, because these are probably going to go into production right after the campaign, because they take a long time to get made, and they're fragile. So, we probably won't be making any more of them after this.
Indeed. Figurines, plush, books, all that good stuff in the GarageBand campaign right now. And I'm going to get some food and get back to animating tonight. Liz, Gabe, Hazen, any other thoughts before we call it a stream?
What about you, Gabe?
I take a minute. me. Sorry, I got nothing.
I'm thinking Arby's.
I never have anything good or constructive or helpful to say. I only have stupid things, but I can't even think of that. Grab them all.
Womp womp. All right. Well then, until Monday, everyone. Have a great weekend. We will be back Monday. Stream ends in 5, 4, 3, 2,